So Bare Knuckle 2, better known as Streets of Rage 2 in the West. Definitely the pinnacle of beat 'em ups for the Sega Mega Drive in my book. Okay, let's give it a start. Okay, we got your average 4 sets of 4 hard knocks. We've got Max there, the obligatory big fat muscle slow ass bastard. Alex, the cool guy. You've got Half the Bird in there, and of course you got Sammy, the complete wimp. But I think we'll go for Blaze, as most of you probably would. Okay, so here we go. Bare Knuckle 2, as you probably guessed, and if you didn't, you're probably a bit retarded, is the second Bare Knuckle game in the series. Released in 1992. I remember playing this for hours on end when it first came out. Okay, your characters have got the standard array of punching kicks, and you've got your jumps there. But the thing that sets Bare Knuckle apart from a few other beat-em-ups out there is the fact they got some cool special moves, which are pulled off pretty much like a one-on-one beat-em-up, really. So you see, you just push forward twice and punch. Get that lovely back flip, well, forward flip type move. Yourself a knife, yeah, stab him to death, throw the knife as well. There you go. If you hold down jump and the punch button, you get this lovely rotation kick here. Has a special button on its own there, there's a backflip. And push forward in the special, and you get a Chun-Li like fireball. One favourite thing is the way you can jump over your enemies like that. Okay, let's get this pole, bash these over the head. Boss time. One of the good things about Streets of Rage 2 is the amount of combinations you can pull off with your moves. You can be punching the guy in front of you, then you can turn around and suddenly start smacking the guy behind you. You know, let rip with a couple of specials or whatever. Just get the chicken there. Oh, he didn't last long, did he? Bare Knuckle 2's got far more beefier graphics than the original Bare Knuckle. This could be partly due to the fact that it is a sequel, and it was probably one of the first Mega Drive games to feature a 16MB cartridge. It also must be noticed that there are quite a few fair different characters within the game. As you probably saw in last month's Retro Core, we did Undercover Cops for the Super Famicom. Practically all the stages had the same bad guys on them. Whereas Bare Knuckle 2 seems to introduce a new bad guy almost every stage. The quality of the backgrounds themselves are also quite nice. Far more detailed than the first game, and a lot more colourful than the second game. I mean, than the third game, I should say. One nice feature about Bare Knuckle 2 is when you play a 2-player game, you can actually combine forces by one person holding the other person, sort of like this, jumping over and flinging them to perform some sort of charge attack. or some sort of heavy duty combo. Unfortunately, I'm playing on my own because I'm a bit of a sad bastard, so I can't show you that at the moment. While this is a great game and everything, it's still not without its problems. Sometimes when you do special moves, such as that fireball just did then, she'll keep repeating the actual move until it hits somebody, which doesn't seem like a bad thing, but the fact that it takes energy from you every time you do it, you can push it off. You can actually lose quite a bit of energy without actually hitting anyone. These guys are really annoying. What you have to do here is get rid of these guys and sort of kick them off the bikes, which is easier said than done. Oh, lucky today, they're all missing me. There you go, there's one off. One thing which must be noticed about the Japanese version has got these ladies in leather, as I like to call them. There you go, with the whips. Completely removed from the Western version, for what you expect. Just knife her for a bit. There you go, take that. Let's get to a sexy pose. There we go. Just not being picky. Now, one of the most annoying things about the game are these fat bastards. I don't know what it is, but whenever they put a fat bastard in and beat him up, he's always a pain in the ass. You got them in Final Fight, you got them in Streets of Rage. Everywhere. There we go. A good old elevator level. Can't have a beat 'em up with that one. Well, except Final Fight on the Super Famicom where they cut it out. So why should you buy Bare Knuckle 2? Well, if you got a Mega Drive then you can't play Final Fight unless you got a Mega CD, which is probably the best walk along beat 'em up of the era. So that's why you should buy Beats of Rage, flipping heck. That's why you should buy Bare Knuckle 2. It is probably the best beat 'em up on the Mega Drive. Far better than the first one, even though the first one is good. And absolutely cacks on the third one, I think. The third one looks bloody awful. Graphics on it don't look anywhere near as good as this. And the sound on it is pathetically bad. I don't know what Yuzo Koshiro was thinking when he made the sound for the third one, but I know what I'm thinking. It sounds like it's bloody crashed. Anyway, so we're going to give Bare Knuckle 2 a retro core score of 8 out of 10, which is quite good going. Soul Calibur for the Sega Dreamcast. Can you believe that this game was made in 1999? Unbelievable. It still looks amazingly good even today. So let's start it up. Originally you only have the bottom row of characters to choose from. But the more you play the game, you can get the extra characters by opening up secret items in the museum section, but I'll show you that later on. First, let's take a look at the game. Hang on, I'm going to zoom out a little bit there. Yeah, that's a bit better. And I think we'll go Bow and Oakley. So, what can I say about Soul Calibur? It's pretty hard to start off, really. Let's see. Well, one thing I will say about Soul Calibur, that it certainly stood up to the age of time. You know, it's come 5 years later and the game still looks very nice. You know, if you saw this on your PlayStation 2, your GameCube or your Xbox, of course you'd be thinking, it doesn't look as good as other beat-em-ups, but it still does look fairly good. And just look at the detail on the actual characters. Texture mapping is amazing. You know, the amount of detail that's gone into this game for the time, it's just unbelievable. The backgrounds are really imaginative too, such as this one. But enough about the graphics, because you know, we can all see how good they are. We can all hear how good the music is as well.
This victory strengthens the soul of each. You win!
So probably what you want to know is, how does the game play? Well, the game plays quite well actually. If you played Soul Edge in the arcades or the PlayStation, or Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube or whatever, then you'd be pretty familiar with the way this plays. You got your standard buttons, you got your weak, medium, high attacks, you got your kick there, you got your block, which I've killed it now so I can't use it. Way of doing various motions on the D-pad in combination with buttons brings out all the different moves. Each character's got a fair amount of moves, you know, you're talking around about 30 odd moves each or more. But the thing is, the connection between the moves is so fluid that it doesn't seem like they're tacked on at all. Also, a combination of two buttons and different pad moves can bring you out different moves. There's a throw from the side there. If I throw it from the front, the back, or left or right side, to get a different type of throw each way.
You win! Final battle, fight!
A downside with Soul Calibur is, you know, pretty much like many one-on-one beat-em-ups, you can get some complete tit who hasn't got a clue how to play the game. Yeah, somehow he just manages to win by bashing the buttons. Which can be quite annoying, especially when you're trying to pull off some impressive combinations. But for the really skilled player, like me there, you can actually get away with playing people like that, because if you got the skill you can actually counteract the moves and take them out, which is always good to see, because those people think they're so cool.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The legend will never die.
Okay, we've got the standard arcade battle, which we just played there. First battle, team battle, where you can sort of do a King of Fighters style. Time attack, basically you see how many people you can kill within the time limit. Survival, see how long you can last. Extra survival. This is quite an interesting one. One hit and you're dead. So basically, whoever gets the first hit in is the winner. So basically, you got to see how many people you can beat. and the obviously practice mode and options. But one of the better things about this, or one of the more interesting things about this, is the museum. Exhibition theatre, which you can actually watch your guys do the moves. Just watch them battle out and show you this stuff. Gives you some information on the character as well. See Maxie showing us stuff there. There's double nunchucks. Oh, only until there, he reckons.
Welcome back to the stage of history.
Character profile section. Gives you a profile on the character. Mostly this version's all in Japanese. Tells you about the weapons, the stage. You listen to all the different voices, all the different things he say. You can see the character's ending and just select a different character. Opening direction is a pretty fun extra option. This gives you the chance to change the introduction to the game. Okay, mission battle. This is where you unlock all those secrets which I've just shown you. Basically, you choose your character and choose a mission from the map. As you can see, most of them I've completed. In fact, I completed all of them. Full points, whatever. Except for this little bastard here, which you got to do an unbreakable combo or something against Soul Master himself, or Soul Edge, but I just can't do it. Hidden around the map are some secret places where you can actually battle. There's one right here. Hear the noise? So click on the mission, it tells you what the mission is. Complete the mission, get yourself some points. Use those points to unlock the prizes in the gallery mode, which we saw before. You see, actually fighting a gold Sophia here. Some of the mission modes have a very strange points to them. As you see, this one, the characters seem to be sliding quite a lot, thanks to the wind. See them just sliding there, which makes it incredibly difficult to battle. There's another one where you actually sink into the floor, which is meant to be quicksand. Let's see if I can find that one. It's over here somewhere. It's down here. Oh, it's not this one. So I'm actually going to give Soul Calibur a very high score of 9 out of 10. You probably wouldn't do. Why though? Well, the reason is that I bought Soul Calibur on the day it was released, and I was playing it, you know, well over a year later. The game has just got that much in it that, you know, you'd be playing it for months and months and months on end. You know, even if it's just to unlock all the secrets, which I still haven't done because, you know, 4 or 5 years later. So if you want to beat 'em up to last year, one that looks good, one that plays good, one that sounds good, Soul Calibur is the one for you. If you just want one for fancy graphics to get Dead or Alive, or if you want one for more technical playability, go for Virtua Fighter 3. But in my eyes, Soul Calibur is definitely the number one 3D fighting game for the Dreamcast. So it deserves a good score of 9 out of 10. Umihara Kawase, very popular back in the mid-90s. It's a very nice platformer for the Super Famicom. But not just your average platformer, it's more of a puzzle platformer. So the game stars our little girl down here, who unfortunately I can't remember what her name is. Basically she can jump and throw out this little grappling hook. And basically the object of the game is to get to the top of the level and exit the door. Sort of like a load runner type thing really. So let's see. The hook that you've got, the grappling hook, has a few different things you can do with it. So just put up here. If you pull down on the pad, you can wind the hook up, or wind the rope up that the hook's attached to. Push down on the pad, and you can sort of let yourself down a bit, see like that. And left and right gives you a little bit of a swing. See, you can use it to save yourself as well. Not only is the hook used for getting yourself from one place to the other, but you can use it to attack the enemies. Throw the hook at them to startle them, like this. Or grab them and wind them in, put them in your backpack. The graphics are very, very nice. They're a bit simple, not too special, but they certainly do the job. The music, I think, is very nice. Gives that nice, relaxing atmosphere to it. Great sound, as you'd expect from the Super Famicom. Oh, you little bastards! Forgot the fish can knock you down. Yeah, the only downer to this game is if you get hit by one of the big enemies, instant death. The smaller enemies will just startle you, but that usually ends up with you falling down to your doom. That's got to be a bit of a pain. There we go. Just bring myself up. Oh, that's pretty good. Now he's gone. In between levels you get these little cutscenes which tell you the little hints on how to get through the level, but you probably already figured them out by the time it tells you anyway. This game is also available on the PlayStation, and of course they had to put it into 3D, didn't they? And it just doesn't seem as good. This 2D classic is far the best. I'm not too sure how many worlds there are in it, but I've been up to about the 10th screen. It starts to get really tough after that. So there you have it, Umihara Kawase. Oops, do a bit of a jump here. Ow! Very cute, very nice, and very pleasant. A little platformer game there from for the Super Famicom. And actually I'm going to give it the Retro Core score of a good 8 out of 10. If you're after something just to sit down and relax and you're fed up playing your average puzzler, then this is the game for you. The music's very nice. It'll just let you mellow out or whatever. It can get a bit tedious, but then again, what games don't get a bit tedious?
Neo Futatabi さらわれた妹を探すため危険な町サウスタウンに乗り込む。その後なるニョウの父、そしてライフ、ニョウと共にサウスタウン。サウスタウンで彼らを待ち受ける者は
Some fighting for the Neo Geo. One game, one fighting game that certainly changed the way fighting games were. And you'll see why in a minute. Whoop, what was that? The screen zoomed out. That's right. I think Art of Fighting was the first game to feature the zoomy screen mode, which was later used in games such as Samurai Showdown and so on. In fact, this was probably one of the first Neo Geo fighting games to actually be any good, since the first Fatal Fury was a pile of crap. They like my playability, they like my playing skills really. One thing that must be said about Art of Fighting is it features this very nice system where you can actually see a character get bruised the more you fight. You can see at the moment Leo's got no scars on him whatsoever. Oops. He's starting to get a bit of a big cheek there, see? Toilet doesn't keep being a pain in the ass. Go on, fuck off. Yeah, I can see his face there, it's a bit swollen. The game itself isn't without its problems. You know, the collision detection can be bloody awful at times. You know, sometimes you'll be like miles away and you'll be getting hit. Sometimes your attacks don't connect, which can be a pain in the backside. Sometimes attacks can take far too much energy off you. And sometimes I can just be complete crap at playing the game, but I don't think that's a fault of the game really, I think that's my fault. It's going a little bit because you can hear his lovely porno voice later. Another problem which I found with the game is sometimes your moves take too long to come out. You know, it could be like a good second before, you know, you do your move, your character will do his little bit of speech and then decide to attack, which can be a right pain because you end up getting smacked in the face while he's saying a special move speech. One good thing though is which I do like, which I'll tell you in a minute, because hang on, we're just going to listen to Robert's porno voice now. This is great. Do I have to fight again? Great. Oh, here we go, here's the bonus games. You can choose a different type of bonus game. Here, do the special moves, break the ice, or the bottle tops. I think we'll go for the bottle tops. Stop the energy bar when it gets to max. Unlike that. Oh well. These bonus rounds pop up between every other level. I think it's every 2 or 3 levels they pop up. But they teach you how to do a new move every time you complete a bonus round. Okay, I'll tell you the good bit which I was going to tell you before. You can see underneath the entry bar is a green bar, and that is actually a special move power. There you go, you just saw the fact. An example of do your move, speak and get killed while you want to do your move. Anyway, that bar underneath your entry bar, that's used for the special moves, such as your fireballs, your kicks or whatever. And if that goes down, you can't do any special moves, which is really good for those cheesy bastards that used to just Hadoukens on bloody Street Fighter all the time. Just stand there in the corner blasting you with the bloody things. Can't be doing that in this game. But don't worry, once you've used up all your special energy bar power, you can actually refill it up again by holding down all the buttons. And he will sort of bring the spirits in, charge himself back up. Wow, look at that. Pulled up on a string Dragon Punch. He does actually have a fireball somewhere. There it is. Just charge myself up. I also love the feature where you can jump off the walls. Sort of a rebound attack, very nice indeed. Porno voice time again.
Let's fix it up.
Rats, let's fix it up. Love to know who did that voice. Here you go, King. Could be a man, could be a woman, could be a lesbian, who knows. But I'm sure I know which one you guys would love it to be. A special mention must go to the sound. It's really beefy, very nice. Unlike Street Fighter, which had pretty tinny sound, they had good tunes, mind you, but the sound itself was a bit tinny. There's fighting features really good beefy audio. Gives you that feeling of actually, making contact with the enemy or whatever. So there you have it, art of fighting for the Neo Geo. Also released on the Super Famicom and the Mega Drive. Mega Drive version had far better graphics than the Super Famicom version, but it didn't feature the scaling effects, which this one does. But the Super Famicom version did feature the scaling effects, but looked like complete and utter total crap for the background graphics. In fact, why not have a look and see which version you think's better? So there we go, we just had the Neo Geo version. Let's go and take a look at the Super Famicom version, tell me what you think. Okay, well here we are, Super Famicom version. Well, it's got the intro there. Sounds not too bad. Speech is missing, but at least you can see this one in English. Okay, let's have a look at the game. A bit like we just were. As you can see, the background graphics don't look anywhere near as good as the Neo Geo version. But watch, it does have the scaling though. It does seem quite a bit slower than the Neo Geo version too. Can't find me jump off the wall. There it is. Wow, it's a hell of a lot slower than the Neo Geo version. And you can probably notice that the gameplay is in a box. Okay, that was the Super Famicom or Nintendo version. Let's take a look at the Mega Drive version. Okay, here's the Mega Drive version. Okay, different intro. Music's nowhere near as good. But the music's quite pathetic. It started up. Okay, different option screen, different character select screen as well. We've got Robert again. But the background looks a hell of a lot better than the Super Famicom version. Characters are smaller though. Half the speech is missing. It is a lot faster though. Much faster than Super Famicom 1. Same as the Neo Geo speed, I'd say. So there you have it. I was fighting on all three systems, Neo Geo, Super Famicom and Mega Drive. And I've said Neo Geo version is the best, of course. Mega Drive actually comes second, with Super Famicom version coming last. But enough about them. We're going to give the Neo Geo version a retro core score of only we're going to give it, I don't know, 6.5, 7. Okay, we're going to give it 7 out of 10. It was very good for its time, but it does have its problems, you know, really awful collision detection and so on. Bloody cheating bastard computer opponents. But yeah, it's good fun. It's a good game, and it was one of the first to bring out the zoom in backgrounds.
Game created style. Wolf Team.
Annette Futatabi for the Sega Mega CD, better known as Annette again in English. You might recognise Annette from games such as El Viento, where she's the main character. There's Ernest Evans, which has got his own game. And El Viento, I mean not El Viento, Annette also features in Ernest Evans as Ernest's girlfriend, I think. Can't quite remember now, it's been that long since I played it. Okay, so Annette's got her own game now, but what type of game is it? Well, it's a game with a real bad looking introduction for the start, but we'll forget about that bit. One thing I must show you is this very nice option screen. Yep, very sexy indeed. Okay, so let's start up the game. That's right, it's a walk along, scroll and beat 'em up. Okay, the game does actually have an animated intro, which I've missed out, just to save time really. We'll just get into the game. Okay, well, this game has got to be said is as hard as nails. That could be because of the collision detection is dodgy. It could be because the controls are a bit iffy. Or it could be just crappy games. But I think I'll blame it on the game. Okay, so in the game we've got your standard punch. In this case she sort of slashes out with a sword. She's got a lovely little kick there. And pretty like Streets of Rage, which we saw before, or Bare Knuckle. Push forward twice and she can run, and press your attack and she does that lovely kick. She's also got a nice jump charge type thing there. You may have noticed that there aren't many enemies on the screen. In fact, there's only one at the moment, and that's because they all bloody wait off the screen until you kill the ones which are already on, which can be a right pain in the backside. One thing which I don't like about this game is there doesn't seem to be many sound effects apart from Annette's voice as she attacks. The actual, when you hit enemies, there doesn't seem to be any connection sound, except for the odd punch a pillow type sound. And the odd little grunt from the baddies. You may have actually noticed a little green bar up in the corner. What that actually is our magic bar. And when that fills up to a certain degree, we can let loose one of our destructive magics. The higher you get it, the more powerful it becomes. The picture in the centre of the screen at the top, you can see, looks like some sort of dragon, and that's the type of magic which we've got. So we'll just let one of the magics out. Here we go. Oh bloody hell, that was scary, wasn't it? I'm sure the enemies were shocked at that one. No enemies coming on now. I have to say that I'm quite disappointed with Wolf Team's attempt here. The controls are alright, and you know, it plays fair enough, but you know, an instance just like that, you know, I was waiting ages for the enemy to come on screen, and you know, nothing to do. Oh, the music's fading out. See the audio for you. There you go. See, we're still waiting for the guy to come on screen. Come on, you little sod. There you go. Stop doing your pull up on a string dragon punch. Yeah, it can be a bit bored waiting for enemies to come or whatever. Come on, you little sod. Oh, take one of me kicks. So I'll give him a magic, see how he likes that. Oh, that was a scary magic, wasn't it? There's the big boss guy, which is going to kill me in no time. So anyway, that's a game for you really. Not a very good game. Could have been so much better. It is quite tough, and as soon as you die you get sent straight back to the beginning of the level. So you can appreciate that I won't be continuing. Okay. You might be wondering why is the audio a little bit out. Well, that's because I'm actually running this on an emulator because I can't be bothered getting the 1 mega out. So the music is a bit delayed. When you play it on the actual hardware, it's not like that though. It's perfect. So we're going to have to give Annette again a very sad score of only 5 out of 10. Yep, you probably guessed it. It's a Castlevania game. It's Akumajo Dracula for the Sharp X68000. And this game certainly puts the Super Famicom first, Castlevania 4 to shame. Let's get the game running so you can see what it looks like. Like a lot of Sharp games, this one features different types of audio which you can select. You can run it from the Sharp's internal sound chip, or one of the two of the sound cards which you can plug in. I'm running it from the Sharp's internal sound chip because I think that one sounds the best. Here we go. You can actually attack when you jump. Rotation there. Looks quite similar to the first level on the Mega Drive game, really. So Castlevania on the Sharp X68000 is actually very nice. Probably one of the best 16-bit versions. Visually it's quite impressive. I'll show something behind here. Maybe not. The audio on it is very nice. Maybe not as good as the Super Famicom, maybe, but certainly better than the Mega Drive version. Ah, get away from me, little sod. That's him dead. As you can see from the map, that the game is actually quite big. That's only a part of the map as well, which you can see there. A lot of attention has gone into detail on this game. And you can see from the background, it's got multi-parallax scrolling. You know, the animation on the main character and some of the enemies is very nice as well. Just a shame that most people didn't have the opportunity to play this one, except for the people who live in Japan, that is. Of course, Castlevania on the Sharp isn't exactly perfect. Like most of the Castlevania games can be quite annoying when enemies come that close to you. You can't hit them because of the range on your whip. And when you die, you do get sent quite far back. But you know, that's just Castlevania games, full stop, and you can't complain at that. If you feel like you continue from the very place where you died, you'll be completing them in no time whatsoever, and that's not what you want after shelling out a load of money for a game. So if you got yourself a Sharp X68000, I really recommend that you get Castlevania. In fact, if you've probably got a Sharp X68000, you probably already do have Castlevania. It is one of the essential purchases. So we're going to give Castlevania on the Sharp a good retro score of 8 out of 10. Newzeland Story, one of the classics of the 80s. Save all your little Kiwi mates from the evil, well, I don't know what they are really, from the evil things. One thing which will aid you in Newzeland Story is to grab yourself one of the flying vehicles, if that's what you could call them, ranging from psychopathic duck type things. There you go. These will help you fly through the level. Won't help me get up there though. Right, time to get off. Newzeland Story is one of those classic old arcade action games which you don't really see these days. Oop, there's a ray gun. Yeah, there are many different weapons and things to pick up in a Newzeland Story, such as here we got the nice ray gun, which has disappeared before I could get hold of it. A shame. This balloon which I'm on features different powers, so you can get hit quite a few times before it'll actually disappear beneath your feet. water we go. Nice little cute features when you're in the water, you can spit out the enemies like that, which I always found quite amusing. There's my kiwi. Hey, let's go. So there are absolutely hundreds of bloody levels like this. Each level gets a bit more confusing each time. Trying to find out which way to go becomes even more and more confusing as the game progresses. And like all games, Newzeland Story has a boss. And just as you'd expect, they're nice and cute. Here we go, we've got frozen pink whale here. Whoops. Which I remember rightly, actually I have to get swallowed by this one. If I remember rightly, to complete it. That's right. It swallows you up and you have to shoot them from within inside. By the way, that little E you can see in the corner is an E icon which I picked up. And once you get all the icons, you get a bonus. Bit like that's basically a Newzeland Story for you. Absolutely tons of maze-looking maps, all sorts of little fruits and gadgets to pick up, and basically guide yourself around through the levels to find your kiwi friend to rescue him. And that's all there is to it, really. But it's one hell of a challenging game and will last you an awful long time. So there you go, that was a Newzeland Story, and we're going to give it a retro core score of a nice 7 out of 10. Bit of a classic game, won't appeal to everybody, it gets a bit annoying, you know, every now and then. But for those who want a real challenge, I think you'll find Newzeland Story like the game for you. Psycho Fox for the Sega Master System. Before Sonic came along, made in 1989. Actually, not that long, not that far before Sonic, really. Game stars our little fox guy here, who can actually change into various other guys. I think he's got a monkey, a tiger, and a hippo. And of course, he's got his little Chucky egg friend here, which he can lash at people. There you go, or lash at the hammer crabs, or at least that's what I think they are. The game is actually quite like Magic Heart's Flying Turbo Adventure, which we saw on last Retro Core. Or did we see it on last Retro Core? I can't remember now. But anyway, it's quite like that, which is a Mega Drive game. When you kill enemies, they drop little icons, which you can use to your advantage, such as magics and so on. So let's just have a look here. This magic stick here, select that, and it allows you to change characters. Each character has a different skill. Psycho Fox, who we just were, main character, all-round character. Hippo, he can charge through walls. The monkey can jump high, and the tiger can run quite fast. But I'm going to actually go with the monkey because I quite like the monkey. And it's much easier to get through the game actually with the monkey because you can jump over the many enemies. Whoops. Guarantee it's going to be a baddie in there. There you go. Yeah, anyway, throughout the game you see these little eggs which you crack open, and you can get yourself little specials from there, such as magic sticks, money, or your little Chucky egg guy if you lose them. Whoops. Whoa, shit. There you go. Luckily your little Chucky egg guy sort of acts as a shield. If you get attacked while you've got hold of him, you're pretty much safe. You won't actually die. You just lose them. If I select one of the other magics, I think it's this one. This should give me a shield. There you go. And if some water coming along, I can show you the magic. Oh, it's the end of the level. Just going to show you the magic sliding your bum trick, but it looks like you won't get to see it. Just like Magical Hat, you've got the bonus section. Place your little Psycho Fox down and guide them through, let them run through the maze. And if you're lucky, unlike I am, you might get a bonus. But in my case, went straight into the hole. So I'm afraid we're going to have to pretty rush this Psycho Fox feature, unfortunately. run out of time. So Psycho Fox gets a retro core score of 8 out of 10, which is a very good score. Very good classic platformer, especially for the Master System. Looks good, sounds pretty shit, but then again most Master System games do sound pretty shit.